All right. All right. All right. Let's get started here. I got YouTube going and I got track tick. Let's see. Share screen. What we got? Select to share. Ooh. I didn't know. I did not know you can do this. Stand by to stand by. I want to share here. That's not what I wanted. Shoot. Um, Stop sharing. Let's try something else. Hmm. All right. I'm still working on something. Give me a second. I'm trying to get something going now. Put do an image, and we'll get right to it. How about that? Come on now. All right. What we got? I want to. All right. That's the best we can do now. All right. So, what I want to talk about tonight is the burden of uncontrolled immigration on America's economy and society. All right. It's a lot of talk about compassion um, and having workers in, and that's all well and good. And we do need immigration, but we are a nation of laws, and we need to get things straight. We need to get things situated. If we do need to we do need to have immigrants come and work in our fields, do different things. All right. But we got to set it up, people. We got to set it up legally, and because you can't give any leeway to the Marxists and capitalists and socialists, because everybody will do anything to make a buck. So that's what I'm going to point out here. All right. America faces a crisis at its borders. Thank God President Trump was elected. God bless you, America, for electing him. All right. Illegal immigration surged and strained our resources from 2021 to 2025. Over 10 million people crossed without papers. Don't know who they are. Are they terrorists? Are they criminals? Are they insane? We don't know. All right. And you got these bleeding hearts that don't want that part to come out. They don't want to acknowledge that information. They want to go with the sob stories. However, do so in a foreign country, and you will find out if they try to if do what they are doing in America. All right. Estimates range from 11 to 21 million undocumented residents. There's 333 million Americans. So you add another 11 to 21 million. You got an army. You don't know who these people are. The white liberal, especially female, is self destructive, emotional. And one of the lead causes for some of these policies, and you can see that throughout the history of America, and especially now. The influx costs billions. It hits healthcare, schools, roads, and housing hard. Workers pay the price throughout higher taxes and low wages. When you have a surplus of people, the wage goes down. In fact, when you have a need, the wage goes up. Security risks grow too. Drugs flood streets, human traffickers thrive, children vanish, 350,000. Open borders under Biden weaken trust worldwide. They erode the American dream of hard work and fair play. Sanctuary cities like Chicago and New York spend fortunes to what avail. The inner city people are rising up and saying, hey, you spending on them, but you won't spend on us. Where did this money come from? It came from Americans. Leaders there push costs onto rule of law states. All right, so you got the blue states, the blue cities, they throw out all this money and then they go hand out to the Congress and to the Senate to pass laws that will reimburse them. They pay all this kind of money. New York has been bailed out. California has been bailed out. And they pass all this money while other states that have common sense laws don't profit because they don't overspend and don't put themselves in that situation. All right. Sanctuary cities like Chicago and New York spent fortunes. Leaders there push costs onto rule of law states. Democrats now are eyeing at 1.5 trillion in new spending. This ties to deficit and endless wars. America bleeds cash. 3 clear steps I'm proposing to restore control, secure the border, enforce laws, cut waste. President Trump and his administration secure the border. They're enforcing laws now through those. Thank God, that coalition he put together was wild, with Elon Musk and RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gilbert. The rest of them is outstanding. All right, economic drain, a tax on every citizen. Immigration, illegal immigration costs the U.S. Economy dearly. We are close to $40 trillion in debt, and yet they want to spend more. Insane. The Federation for American Immigrant Reform pegs the 2023 net cost to illegal immigration at $150.7 billion. This covers federal, state, and local levels. Taxpayers foot the bill. Undocumented households paid $89.8 billion in taxes that year, yet they used $240 billion in services. 89.8 doesn't tally up to 240 billion. The gap hits 150 billion. Low education levels drive this. Many arrive with skills that match low wage jobs. They pay little in income tax but draw heavy on public aid. Healthcare bears the blunt. Undocumented immigrants use emergency rooms often. States like California spend $3.5 billion yearly on uncompensated care. Nationwide costs top 18 billion. KFF data show immigrants use less routine care than Native Americans born here, not Indians, if you want to use that term. But emergency costs spike. Hospitals pass costs to insured patients. Premium rise 5 to 10% in high immigration areas. They don't tell you this. Where there's high immigration areas, the cost goes up 5 to 10%. A family of 4 pays $1,200 extra yearly. Are you getting that on the news? Are they bringing that out? Let me know what you think. Write me a comment, like, share, follow. All right, school suffers also. Undocumented children fill classroom. Education costs $13,000 per student annually. With 1.5 million such kids, that's 19.5 billion. English language programs adds 1.5 billion more. Texas alone spent 1.2 billion in 2023. Crowded classrooms hurt all students. Test scores dropped 10 to 15% in border districts. They don't highlight this, not at all. Teachers quit from overload. You overload the classroom, 15, 20, 30 some students. I worked with, on my list, it was up to 25 to 28. So I've been there, know that. Different district, but still, I was working in a classroom. Roads and infrastructure crack under weight. New arrivals drive without licenses, insurance. Accidents rise 20% in sanctuary zones. It goes to the people. Repair costs climb to 2 billion yearly. Fuel taxes from immigrants cover up to 30% of use. States like Arizona fix $500 million in potholes tied to extra traffic. The more cars on the road, the more repairs you need. Basic common sense that the Democrats, socialists, Marxists can't seem to understand, or are they deceivers? Housing tightens worse. Demand jumps 10 to 15% in immigrant hubs, immigrants areas. Rents soar 25% in Chicago since 2022. Home prices hit 8 to 12 times median income now, up from 2 to 3 times in 1980. More people come in, more demand. Trump runs them out, the prices go down. We have to think of it also as economics. Um, they won't have you looking at it this way, but you have to. You have to take care of yours before you can take care of the others. All right. Let's go with private equity buys blocks. All right. That's, you got the different ones that come in and they buy up all these homes. That's what you're talking about. Families wait years for units. Homelessness spikes as locals compete. Scale matters. At 10 million undocumented, cost hits 150 billion. At 21 million, they double to 300 billion. Remittance drain 100 billion abroad yearly. That cash leaves U.S. circulation. Wages stagnate. Blue collar pay falls 5 to 10%. Wages are dropping. Costs increasing. Amazing. Per 10% immigrant rise. Native born Americans unemployment climbs 2 to 3 times. We got others that take a lesser pay for these jobs, so you're hit harder. Yet some gains is this: immigration field farms and construction jobs. Yes, they do. They add, but they driving up food and they driving up housing by being here. Okay. They add 2 trillion to GDP over decades. Undocumented pay 25.7 billion in Social Security taxes if it's not on the table. They can't claim benefits. This I disagree with that a little bit. I have to do more research on that one. This props up programs, but net drain persists. Low skill mean more take than given. Amnesty would add 6.3 trillion in costs over 75 years per heritage. All right. Hidden dangers, crime, drugs, and lost lives. Borders invite threats. Terrorist links grow. CBP caught 169 from the watch list in 2023, up from 15 under Trump. Potential attackers slip through, of course. Drug mules carry fentanyl, 100,000 overdose death yearly. Cartels earn $13 billion in U.S. sales. Human trafficking booms, 27.6 million victims worldwide. U.S. sees 1,000 cases probed in 2023. Women and children cross for jobs, end up in brothels or farms. ICE freed 1,282 victims that year. Biden policies fueled this. Open borders let 350,000 unaccompanied minors enter. HHS lost contact with 85,000 by 2024. Fact check confirms 300 to 320 untracked. Okay, so it was up to not just 85, but also went up to 300 to 320. Many in labor or sex rings. Sponsors include sex offenders. My God. They wasn't taking DNA. They wasn't doing fingerprints. Uncle Louise come and pick up 30 different children. Give me a break. But that's the Democrats for you. 20% of cases tied to abuse. Cartels charge $10,000 per kid. Profit fund more crossings. The cartels are making a killing. From X post echo fears. Users report rape trees near borders. Migrant face assaults in caravans. One thread notes 300,000 kids trafficked under Biden. Another blasts open borders as child trafficking haven. These claims match DHS stats. Fentanyl seizures hit 27,000 pounds in 2023, up 400% from 2020. Open borders, a signal to the world. Biden and Harris. She was a border czar. Even though they lied to your face during the election. I mean, it's ridiculous. Biden lacks enforcement, sent wrong messages. Allies see weakness. Mexico laugh off talks. China exploited chaos. Global migration spiked 20%. Poor nations dump burdens. America looked like a free buffet. We was a joke during the Biden administration. Daddy's home now, and they're putting their things in order. The dream phase. Immigrants once built lives through grit, now lines blur. Wages drop, home vanishes. Ex-users lament American dream priced out by immigration. Polls show 60% of natives, natural-born Americans, feel squeezed. Youth delay families. Birth rates fall to 1.6. Chain migration adds 5 relatives per immigrant. Strains multiply. Sanctuary spending. Blue states burdens gain. Blue state burden game. Sanctuary cities bleed cash. Chicago spent $150 million in 2023 on shelters. By 2025, the total hit $1 billion. Illinois tops $2.5 billion statewide. Healthcare alone ate $400 million over estimates. Mayor Johnson cut police to fund migrants. Woo, Mayor Johnson. Tents line streets. New York fares worse. $2.4 billion in 2024. Governor Hochul begs feds for $500 million. Mayor Adams houses 100,000 in hotels. Costs $350 a night per person. Crime rose 15%. All right. It can be measured. Well, they're not committed as much crime as the locals, but the crime rate itself went up 50%. Other spots follow. Denver cuts budget 10%. San Francisco evicts citizens for migrants. Leaders bus extra to red state. It was back and forth going on. Texas got 100,000 from New York City. Abbott sends them back. This forces constitutional states to pay. Florida sues over dump costs. Blue rules of law crumble. Shutdowns loom as Dems block funds. X chatter rages. Sanctuary cities bankrupt push to heartland. Buses roll nightly. 1.5 trillion push. Deficit and war machine. Democrats demand for the shutdown $1.5 trillion in spending tied to the CR fight in 2025, includes $200 billion for migrant health. GOP calls it ransom for illegals. Fact checks note it's foreign aid. They want to, restore the foreign aid, but immigrants aid hides inside that, Deficit balloon, $35 trillion debt now. I think it's 38 now. Immigrants add 19 billion in spending yearly. War drains 8 trillion since 2001. Ukraine alone costs 175 billion. Borders open, cash flows abroad. They come in to get the money they shouldn't have back home. Troops strain, vets wait. The economy slows 1 to 2% from combined loads. Hurt hits home. It's painful. Inflation lingers at 3%. Gas tops $3.50. Groceries was up 25%. Welfare funds, bums, not bridges. Okay, warfare funds, bums, not bridges. Open borders pull focus from threats like China. America weakens. Allies doubt resolve. 3 steps to reclaim sovereignty. First, fix starts now, which it did thanks to Trump being elected. Thank you, America. He sealed the borders. He built the walls. There's a needed 5,000 agents. I don't know how many he's putting in, but think of it like this. Joe Biden and his Congress wanted to hire 85,000 possibly armed IRS agents to go at us, the interior. He wasn't sealing the border. How? I just don't understand the intelligence of someone not seeing that picture. He's coming after you. Trump is going after them. He got my vote. Tech light drones cut crossing 80%. So they got drones up. They deported 1 million yearly. I think it's up to 2 now, 2.2 something like that. Costs 88 trillion short term, saves 150 billion long term. Step 2, end sanctuary rules. We got to do something about it. Cut federal funds to violators. Enforce e-verified nationwide. Fine hit 10,000 per hire. Amnesty block. This boosts wages 5%, cuts crime 20%. We got to do something. This is policy channel here. I want to get more into the policy. I've been doing a lot of different things, but we got to get back to policy. You got to tell me what you think and what you want to hear. All right, step 3, reform legal path. Merit-based visas. Merit-based, not color, not economic, merit-based. Cap chain migration. E2 for investors only. Asylum for true refugees. Anybody could do it under Biden. Process in Mexico. Hold in Mexico. This aids skilled workers. Grow GDP 1% without drains. Cost drops fast. Housing eases 10%. School saves $10 billion roughly. Deficits shrink by 50 billion yearly. Sovereignty returns. Dream revives. The path forward. All right, about to come to the end. Again, leave me a message, please. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Uncontrolled immigration taxes America is steals future revenue and happiness. Cost stack 150 billion annually. Risk multiply. Drugs trafficking, losing kids. Open borders mark strength. Sanctuary games divide. Spending sprees bury debt. Wars distract. But action work. Secure our borders. Enforce rules. Welcome those who fit into our society. Citizens will thrive again. Wages will rise. Homes affordable. Kids will be safe. America will lead once again. So tell me what you think. Am I wrong? I'm off the mark. Let me hear from you. Do you want to hear more? What's the next subject you want me to talk about? So thanks for dropping in, and hello Shirley Smith and others. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. 25. All right, up here we're going to end this stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Thank you.